It is going to allow for them to get back in quicker, I guess, but I don't like the usage of that ult there.
Mangachu, though, has his now ready to go for a second time. Nothing to really match that. They used the sound barrier and Transcendence in the last fight, so Mangachu should have a heyday with this one if he can get into a good position right now and make sure he doesn't have to worry about the enemy D.Va, who actually pops a self-destruct, actually was forced to use that one there, but still Bishu was taken down regardless, Hurix, and now the numbers favor Renegades as they continue to clean this up.
It looks as though they're going to be able to figure this one out, but Remix now coming through, just providing an extra little bit of space. Pook's getting up in the face of Zachary as well, but Mangachu finding the kills, Discord's going out. Very consistent pressure actually being applied here as Babybay jumps onto the point, tries to keep it in their favor. Bishu getting on as well. They're just going to try to extend this one out to that 99% mark, so if they win that next fight, then they will secure the first point of the match.
You're going to get pretty close. 94% will allow for just a slight trickle onto the point from Renegades if they do happen to lose this point to Kungara, who, again, are up so much right now, almost 90%. So Renegades going to have to come through with a few successful team fights. They're actually starting to come up on some of those important ultimates, and that Mangachu has his ready to go now. And again, Dogman and Pooks don't have their ultimates to combat that, so that's going to be pretty big as they start to break these out now. Mangachu going to go ahead and pop that sacrifice. They're actually both sides popping it now, but Sherlocky, he should be able to keep his team alive with that Transcendence.
Well, Dogman is certainly looking to try to get a Transcendence of his own. Babybay already found a kill. They might not even need it if he even gets it. Discord's going out again onto Zachary to try to get that D-Mech going, so Babybay has something to work with, but he got eliminated already by Mangachu. Maybe Dogman is going to be forced to pull out this Transcendence, as we do see Primo coming out with that Primal Rage once again. He does indeed take it out as they D-Mech Zachary.
So much of Remix's attention was forced on the Mangachu back there and left the rest of his team kind of hanging on the point. Needed that Winston Bubble presence. It's going to actually allow for Renegades to maintain control here and get a very late kill onto Bishu. They're just going to let him live and be D-mech'd as it looks like Zachary's able to get back into his now. For 40% to go for Renegades, who have really turned this around. Bishu just going to jump off the map and get a full reset, as it looks like we do have a pause coming through here. But regardless, Renegades really setting themselves up for success right here, Hurix.
I'm not really sure exactly. I think Zachary's house has a fire alarm going off or something like that. So I'm not really sure exactly what that means for him. I don't know if he has to actually leave the building or what. Probably, I would assume. For his safety's sake,
Well, we'll see what's going to happen with that one. But regardless, 94% put up on the board for Kungara, 64 on the board for Renegades, who have really managed to turn this one around. Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, obviously, a lot could be said about the way that they've been able to defend. I mean, they really kind of shut down Babybay a couple of times there, and they've been separating out Kungara a lot and really, I mean, isolating them quite well. Taking Babybay out of the equation means a lot for, taking away some of the pressure that would certainly be instilled into Primo Dolce there, who, again, kind of made some weird ult chases in the beginning. I think set them back a little bit, but now that they've been able to kind of even everything out, I think we're going to be seeing them, kind of keep the pace a little bit. Now the question is, are they going to be able to do anything with Pooks' ult? We see him at 98% right now on the sound barrier, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get in there with just that, or if they're going to require something else, maybe attack visor from Babybay, because that's typically what you see. But they have a little bit of time there, 35% to work with before it actually does go into that overtime phase. So they have a little bit of time to generate those ults if they need them. Just have to be kind of cautious of Mangachu there.
And Mangachu in particular, I feel like he has just been punching out this damage. He's had 2 ults in the time that Pooks and Dogman haven't been able to generate theirs from the ground up there. So like you said, Dogman already used that Transcendence. Not going to have it moving into the next fight. They will have a sound barrier, which should be pretty good. But it looks like we are good to go to get back into this game here, as both teams are ready to go. And Renegades kind of putting Kungara on their back foot, despite being down a little bit in terms of percentage. But a late kill onto Bishu, who drops off the map there, should force us down to one final fight.
Now we will see Pooks getting that sound barrier ready to go. As we talked about, they need probably more than that, though. Babybay now at 60%, Mangachu at 77. You don't want those guys competing, but if you have the sound barrier, you definitely do have a little bit of an advantage. Now they're going to go in, 84%, sound barrier comes out.
Oh, it's going to pick up 2 from Bishu. That's what you want to see coming out there from the playmaker. As I liked what I saw there from Remix as well. He jumps up to the top, kind of denies some ground from Sherlocky and company. pushing them all the way back. And this is Kungara pulling this in their favor now. They will get a late kill onto Zachary as well. There will be a trickle onto the point from 3 guys on the side of Renegades. Can they get a 4th there, as we do see Mangachu sprinting back, has attack visor, but no, Jer goes down immediately there from Michael. They don't even contest it, and it's going to be round number 1 going to Kungara.
Really, really good performance there from Kungara. It took them a while to steal it back from Renegades, and certainly Renegades were not playing up to their full potential in the beginning stages. Some weird ult decisions, some some lost fights that they maybe should have won there, but nonetheless, going into Sanctum, maybe they can turn things back around. Certainly 1-0 now for Kungara. They have that 1-game advantage so far on Nepal. Next map will be Kungara's, so if they take this map, it certainly seems as though Kungara is going to be able to take the series along with it, because Gibraltar is a pretty solid map for them. We already saw them doing exactly the same thing that we see them doing in the hangar phase of Gibraltar, where they just have Bebe sitting up on that high ground along with Dogman. They put out the pressure, and they really kind of put work in on Primo. I mean, they really kind of make the tank's life very, very difficult, especially if they're on that Winston character that you see often in these compositions.
Let's see what they can get done with it again here. A little bit of a scare against Renegades, but even so, Sherlocky able to find an opening pick onto Baby Bay. Not what you want to have from your DPS player to get things underway here in the 2nd round. So definitely already a better start from the side of Renegades, who are Mangachu's already at 50+% right now. Baby Bay was taken out so early, he's about 20 here. So this is what I was talking about in the previous round. Mangachu generating these ults so quickly could be really good for this team.
And Baby Bay going to be eliminated late too. Michael forced back. That gives Mangachu even more ult to work with. 70% right now could be able to be used in that next fight, as long as it does kind of pull out late, or maybe they get a lot of damage instantaneously. Getting a Helix into the tanks would certainly mean a lot, but we'll have to see what happens here. Mangachu certainly wants to get that online as fast as possible, just to kind of set a precedent, so we can get very much further ahead than Baby Bay here.
Kind of playing reserved on the side of Renegades because Primo was so low to get the fight started. Somehow he keeps himself alive. Good heals coming out there from Sherlock and Jer, able to keep him up. Pulse Bomb. Not going to find anything from Michael. And again, they're just going to get wiped off the board here. Renegades really showing up in this 2nd round, taking it to Kungara. And moving into this next fight, they're going to have the Transcendence to deal, or excuse me, they will have the Transcendence to deal with anything that Kungara throws at them, which, given that Baby Bay doesn't have his ult yet, isn't going to really be a whole lot. If
Dogman pulls out the Transcendence here to try to get in there, they will still lose that fight more than likely. I mean, they really have to rely on a lot to try to get these picks going, and that's actually going to be Jared pulling out the sound barrier just to start the fight off. Primo getting down pretty low, actually.
Both support ultimates on the table here from Sherlocky and Jared, like you had said. Still, there's Baby Bay with his own tactical visor, as it doesn't look like Mangachu really wants to drop his. He's way in the back here, not finding necessarily the line of sight to do it, or just the best opportunity at that. But Bishu picking up a kill for himself, and this is Kungara finally pulling a fight in their favor. Despite it being extremely late, they're at least giving themselves a chance here to look for this round.
Man, you really have to wonder how Renegades let that one slip through the cracks. I mean, they had so many options. Jared with the sound barrier, Sherlocky with that Transcendence. They had Mangachu, Zachary, Primo had the Primal Rage too. They should have been able to have so much control in that fight, and yet still they let Kungara steal that one away from them. Granted, I mean, Kungara had to use basically everything in their power to be able to actually pull that one out, but still, Renegades going into that fight, I think, had a slight advantage if they instigated, pretty early on.
And they did initiate with both of those support ults. It's not quite at the same time, but it was basically one after another. And DBA was kind of able to take advantage of that and use his ultimate late in that fight when they didn't have those ultimates available. But now Mangachu coming around the corner, utilizing his ult for the first time this round, I believe, does actually pick up a couple of kills, and the rest of Kungara are left wondering what's happening. They're all the way in the back here. There's no reason, there's no way, honestly, they're going to be able to clean that up by themselves. So they're going to look for a final initiation here with 15 seconds to go.
Late kill into Baby Bay as well. And that's really, really good, because he might have been able, if he was up, to secure that tac visor very early on to come around the corner with. He still might have it, just depending on the time, but he's not going to be able to just initiate the fight with it, which is what they really want on an off angle to kind of pull Dogman out, or sorry, pull Sherlocky out of the fight. But his Transcendence is going to come up. He's going to pop it very early on, as Pooks already did get Zachary off the map.
Got a couple for themselves. I was looking for that from Remix, who gets taken down. Oh, I thought Remix had something there, but no, wasn't able to accomplish enough. It looks like, ooh, Dogman barely keeps himself on the point, but he is the lone survivor. He's going to be taken down, and Renegades tie things up here on the ball, 1-1.
great turnaround performance there from Renegades. Of course, a lot down to Mengachu there, of course, on the Soldier, just really doing a lot of work against Baby Bay, and Michael just not with the impact that we typically see from him. I mean, really, we've been talking a lot about him throughout the past 2 days, and I feel like we haven't really mentioned him at all so far in this matchup.
Especially earlier up against Cloud9, he looked pretty terrific, and I'd imagined in his earlier game up against Rise Nation, he would have been putting in some solid work as well, but like you said, didn't see too many big pickups from his pulse bombs in the previous 2 rounds here. Still a lot of Overwatch to be played for both these teams here, as it looks like they're going to be sticking with the same compositions. No real reason to change, but this is the battle of who gets on top early on this point here, because this is going to be a tough one to take back.
Michael jumping forward now. I mean, again, you're definitely looking to see Michael have a really, really impactful performance if they're looking to take this game here, because you really have to shut down Primo. Dogman going to be on that Zenyatta again, so that's exactly what they're trying to do here. He does manage to demech Zachary, but that's going to be Poog's taken out very early. That's not good for them at all.
Especially Zachary's out of the mech though. Can he get back in? He's about to. He does, just in the nick of time, and this is big for the side of Renegades because Bishu is pretty much down and out of the mech. Remix is also off the board, so they do clean this up. A little hesitant at first, but they press it once they realize that Bishu's out of the mech and Remix is already low, and they start out really strong. And again, look at the ult charge coming out from Jesus and Mengachu to get this one underway.
Yeah, a lot of damage being pressed out by those 2 guys. And geez, asking what the HP was, but Mengachu certainly sitting sub 80% right now. Definitely going to be a worry, and they are going to be aggressive. He gets punched off, almost completely off the map, but Remix going to be eliminated there. Jesus going with the pulse bomb.
Good follow-up. They're going to go ahead and pop the attack visor just to ensure they can clean this one up. 2 ultimates utilized here. Pulse bomb's out there from the side of Michael, and again, just shy of actually being able to find anything here. It's 35% and counting for Renegades, and looking like they should be able to, you know, continue to hold on to this one, because this could be a tough one to take back. But remember, they don't really have a whole lot. I guess they do have 2 support ultimates to deal with Baby Bay moving forward.
Sherlocky certainly going to be able to answer that with the Transcendence, so if you do see Baby Bay coming out and trying to start that off early, definitely look for Sherlocky to pop that Transcendence and make the most of it. Make it you already with the pick, though.
That's big. Baby Bay as well, going to get pounced upon by Primo, and just going to ensure they don't even need to use those ultimates. I guess they did use Jers, and they forced out Dogman's. Not really sure the thought process on that one, as he's just going to drop off the map after that one expires. 70% and counting here for Renegades, man. This is not looking good. This is not looking like Kungara.
Dogman usually pretty solid with those Transcendences, especially with the timings, being patient with them, using them when they're necessary, but that one was, I mean, really not that great. I mean, the whole team was really kind of just already reeling or dead already, and he pulled that one out. That's a necessary ult to actually get onto that point, because obviously Shrine, one of those maps that's really hard to, you know, get up on top of it and kind of turn in your favor. And they need that kind of stuff to actually push the momentum into their favor. Without that, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to win this next fight.
Mengachu dangerously low. Can he get his ult off in time? It doesn't look like he wants to pop it. No, he's going to be taken down. They're in overtime. 99% put up. It took almost everything from the side of Kungara to muster this one through, as Baby Bay and Pooks all utilizing those ultimates as they clean up shop in overtime and now have an opportunity to hold on for the next few team fights. Otherwise, going down 2-1 here on Nepal.
So I got to eat my words a little bit there, but still huge opportunity here for Renegades to turn it back around and steal this one away and take that second map in their favor. They really had a dominating performance so far, but again, it's the defensive holding that's obviously a lot easier here than trying to encroach on that point. So now with Zachary certainly looking for him to put a self-destruct right on the point, get them off of it, so Mengachu has an opening to actually pop this attack visor, but he's going to get murdered.
I'm not sure what he was thinking there. He's got Remix on him. He's got Bishu on him. He pops it. He does retain about 50% of his ultimate, man, but right from the get-go, that was all Remix in his face. Drop down below. They still have 3 people trying to save it. Share with the sound barrier. I didn't like that at all. It only hit himself. Regardless, he only had 2 other people in the area.
Yeah, Mengachu coming back over and looking to try to get his ult back. They're trying to hold on to this. I mean, we do see Remix pretty low here. He's going to be taken down, actually.
As that pulse bomb connects, Transcendence is out as well. A little late from Dogman. Didn't really have it in time to be able to bring him back up. Michael catching himself in a rough spot as well. Can Baby Bay find anything with the Attack Visor? Grabs one for himself onto Primo, but now it's Megachu's opportunity. He's looking for Michael. He grabs him. In the end, this is Renegades cleaning things up. Only needed to worry about a few more people on the point. Do they have the numbers, Yerks?
Well, Baby Bay just found a kill onto Megachu, and that's exactly the one he needed. D-Max Zachary in the process as well, and they might be able to turn this again. I mean, we did see for a moment there, I mean, Kungara looked like they were going to be able to hold that. Now Primo actually turning it again here with that Primal Rage, just sending that Lucio flying pretty much every which way, but Remix now with one of his own. That's pretty much solidifying it. 90% now for Kungara. And Megachu going to be killed off. I mean, that's pretty much going to solidify it.
That's what I was looking for. If they could finish off Megachu here, that would have been big for them moving forward. And there's another kill into Primo. He dives onto the point just to make sure they can touch for overtime. Zachary is here. Jesus is here. Their lives will be short-lived at that. As there goes Zachary. And this is going to be Kungara grabbing themselves a 2-1 lead on Nepal after a very rocky second round. And even beginning of that round here, it's down 99-0. They pull it back in their favor, one round away from finding themselves with the lead here.
Really, really pivotal kill onto Megachu there from Baby Bay inside of Remix's barrier. Because of that kill, they eliminated a lot of that damage threat from Renegades and really kind of were just able to swing it right there. I mean, if Primo Dolce had any other help, like from Megachu, for example, I mean, they probably would have been able to steal that point away and they would have won that map. But now moving back over to Village, we will see pretty much everything staying the same here. And obviously, Renegades needs to win this to be able, and the next one, obviously, to be able to take this map. But I mean, going into Gibraltar, still a very scary position to be in if you're Renegades if you lose this map. So, I mean, down 2-1 right now, this is not looking good for them at all.
Anything in particular you think Renegades need to try to shape up in these next few fights? I guess this round in particular to be able to come back into this series.
Well, they definitely need to be able to finish off these kills, and it looks like this time they're going to be able to do just that as Remix falls pretty early. They're actually focusing down these tanks quite a lot early on as Bishu actually falls again. So they're very good at getting that done at the very least, putting pressure on that front line, putting out those discords to actually just rip them down as quick as possible. Jesus and Megachu coming away from these first fights very effectively. I mean, they are always up very close to those ultimates being charged up completely. So, I mean, definitely kind of continue that level of pressure. When the ults come, don't make those same mistakes, though. I mean, you know, you don't want to see stuff like Primo Dolce just pop in Primal Rage for no reason, you know, when it's just 2 up and he's just trying to get away. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you don't want to see. We saw him do it on this map in particular the first time. So just kind of clean that kind of stuff up and it should be good.
Great execution coming out from Remix, finding that kill onto Sherlocky, who was kind of isolated by himself. The rest of the team not on the same page, but a lot of kills coming out at the same time. Michael, the lone threat on the point. Now Baby Babe's back in the mix. He's going to go ahead and pop the Attack Visor, trying to get something done. They do take care of business on a Zachary. They clean up Jesus as well, and that was, I'd say, a worth ultimate coming out there just to make sure they get the flip and don't put themselves in a 99-0 hole like they did in the previous round.
This obviously is very solid for Kungara, but the bigger reason why is because by winning that fight, they give themselves a huge opportunity to get Baby Bay into position, and now they're going to be able to deal with Primo as he comes in. Look at this, as the Discord comes out, Primo's jumping into this fight, forcing actually the Primal Rage because he's just so low. He just needs that health reset. The Discord's out again, and look, he can't do anything.
He's just out of the line of sight. He puts himself in a rough spot there, and he turns the corner, finds Remix, who gets 3 kills in about the duration of a second there with that Primal Rage for himself. So Kungara will be able to take the lead here and really retain quite a few ultimates here. I mean, heading into this next one, they're going to not really have to worry too much about Megachu. He's still 30% off of this ultimate, but even if that does come up mid-fight, hopefully Dogman and Pooks can coordinate their ultimates better this time so they don't blow them, you know, basically in the same team fight if at all possible.
We will see the Transcendence ready on both sides. Dogman might have to use his just to stay safe from Primo, who's up on top here, just contesting him. Self-destruct comes out.
Great Transcendence from Dogman there, like you said, to keep himself alive, but it was Remix who took a chunk out of health there with the pulse bomb that came through on the side of Jesus. But even so, it's Zachary cleaning this one up. They have an opportunity to make the flip here. They should be able to get just that. Bishu going to be taken out of the mech, and just like that, they clean the floor here. 75% will be on the board for the side of Kungara now, who have a little bit of a lead, but still a couple team fights they're going to have to take if they want to find success on this match.
So for Kungara, they, I mean, obviously have Baby Bay ready to go with Attack Visor already, but the next thing is going to be Remix with the Primal Rage. He's actually forcing that out very early just to get these guys out of the doorway and off the high ground.
Primal Rage in the back, like you had mentioned. Baby Bay, though, has Attack Visor on the low ground at the forefront of the fight. He is actually going to find one before he's getting knocked back by D.Va from Zachary, who gets to remake now, but still pretty even trade, 70% and counting for the side of Renegades, but it's not looking good. They are thin on numbers here, and this is Kungara more than likely coming through.
And if anything starts going the other way, Jer actually does have that sound barrier. Is he going to be able to pop it, though? I mean, Zachary already got demeched, and now Jer's actually going to fall. I mean, he didn't even pop it out. I really would have liked to have seen it before the demech even occurred, so they could have held on to that perhaps. I mean, they have a couple of guys coming up with ults pretty soon. Sherlocky had about 74% on that Transcendence. If they would have been able to get some guys in there with some damage, they might have been able to have enough pressure with those two support ults to actually keep that fight and just win it right there.
Pooks was forced to use his there, but Dogman coming up shortly on another Transcendence here. You know, Jared probably just holding on to that so they can get a nice clean team fight with that, just like he just initiates with that once again. Are they going to be able to have much success from it? It's the real question at this point. Attack Visor comes out there from Baby Bay, immediately finds Jared, but Zachary applying a little bit of pressure. Meanwhile, in the midst of the fight, it's Dogman keeping his teammates healthy with that Transcendence, and that should be Kungara cleaning up the remaining members, as it looks like there's the D-Mech onto Zachary. Kungara with the third round victory, and that will be them going up 1-0 in this series.
And now they're moving on to their map pick of Gibraltar. They look really solid in that second phase. We've had some performances on that
line. I think that could definitely help if Baby Bay sticks on this Widowmaker here. We'll see what they want to actually do with this on offense. As Dogman just going to scout right away. Baby Bay sticking with this Widowmaker pick. So I don't know. I think that Jesus could have a heyday here with Baby Bay.
We'll have to see. I mean, not sure if, I mean, he's going to more than likely try to get aggressive and try to just press him as often as possible. He's actually instead choosing to get into Bishu's face more often than not. Baby Bay getting down pretty low here, and it looks like he might, almost got picked off, but he's at about 20 HP, 4 HP as Jer actually finds the kill.
Zachary was up top as well, looking for that to get things started here, but still, they should be able to come through with some kills, as it's going to be Kungara cleaning up shop. Remember, they still have a few people down on the payload, and coming off of that respawn so early, or so quickly rather, despite even losing a couple guys, and especially Bishu's mech there. But regardless, Kungara cleaned this one up. Took him a little bit of time, but plenty of time for a regroup to come out here from the opposing side.
Really, really important picks from Dogman there, actually. I mean, he was not only able to kill off Jared, but he soloed out Sherlocky, so both supports taken down by a single support there in the form of that Zenyatta. And now, with Baby Bay in position over here, he's on the Soldier as opposed to the Widowmaker. Certainly in this position, you know, he's kind of perhaps regretting a little bit that choice to make the swap, but it just wasn't working initially, and now looks like we're going to be seeing Mingachu pull out that Attack Visor.
He can afford to, because Bishu was taken down early on. He was out of the mech rather early in that one, despite Michael grabbing a kill for himself. 2:30 remaining here, 90 seconds already off the clock here, and this is going to be a good spot, I think, for the defense, because Zachary's ready to go with Sherlocky if they need this ult, if they need that combo. But my question now is, okay, Bishu is on that D.Va still. He's got self-destruct ready to go in just a moment's time. He needs to get into the back. He needs to find a way to deal with Mangachu, and then Zachary will be, of course, diving into the front line. We'll see what he's able to do and see if he can get rid of Dogman early. That's a big question mark. If they can find a kill onto Dogman before that Transcendence comes through, Zachary can find a lot of value with that Nano Blade.
So definitely looking to see what Zachary can pull off with the Nano Blade. He's just kind of hovering around, looking for an opportunity to jump in. Primal Rage coming out from Primo. Renegades looking to keep their dreams alive right now. That's the Nano Blade.
He's looking for something here, but there's no targets. He does actually, okay, finds 3. No wonder there's no targets. I was taking a look at what Remix was able to do, but even so, that was all Zachary here. Remix popped the Primal Rage, went up top, was looking for some backline kills onto Sherlocky and Mangachu, but thankfully, that ultimate from Sherlocky went out onto Zachary just in time before Remix pushed him off of the, kind of out of sight now. 90 seconds to go here, 'cause this is looking rocky for Kungara.
And Jesus right now, ready to go with the self-destruct to be able to push them out. Again, this is Kungara's map, so, I mean, at this stage, you have to wonder, is it going to be one of those kind of flip situations where Renegades does well on Kungara's map or what? I mean, self-destruct again, ready to just be thrown into that server room should it be required. And he's actually going to press onto Michael there, who does have the pulse bomb, but isn't going to be able to throw one out. Didn't actually teleport over, didn't make it there quite enough.
But Jer actually gets picked off before he's able to use the sound barrier, which is a little rough for these guys moving into this fight because of the fact that Baby Bay has been tearing these guys up right now. Self-destruct is out. Dogman gets taken down, but isn't enough because Zachary's still here. A late sound barrier from Jer doesn't save Zachary's life, and just like that, Remix and Bishu are in a good spot to be able to take this payload to the checkpoint, but still they are funneling in. Primo is here. Mangachu is going to be taken down in a moment's time, but Renegades still somehow contesting just for a few more seconds.
Jesus, the last one to be taken out. Recall comes out, so he doesn't really have too many more options. That's going to be the kill as Baby Bay finds that last bullet. And they're not going to be able to take Jer out. He's going to be able to get around that corner, but they're still kind of just being very aggressive, just jumping forward, trying to push Megachu in that hallway, in that back window. And they actually do find the kill off on Primo. That's going to give them a lot of time here, actually, going into this ship phase of the map, the hangar phase.
Bishu, not an ultimate he wanted to have to use, but he does get the reset. He's going to be okay for the time being. Needs to make sure that they do not get torn apart by Zachary this time. The Nano Blade is at the ready. If Michael is able to find something with the pulse bomb, no, he doesn't. Zachary comes through with the Nano Blade. Dogman, perfect timing there with his ultimate, able to keep his whole team alive, including Baby Bay, who's out there with Attack Visor. This is looking strong for Kungara.
And Primo trying to do some work in the ship. He's more than likely going to be eliminated. Might find a kill onto Baby Bay. That is going to be the case, but he's going to be killed off himself, and they're still going to be able to press forward. That's going to be Dogman up top.
Still, I mean, look how far in the back Jesus is right now. If he gets picked off late here, that could be rocky. He is going to be dropped, and that means
he stalled the payload though. Like they
just
all
for
got
a little
off the
bit.
payload.
Yeah, just for a little bit. I mean, Tracer is pretty quick to get back, and that is a short spawn, so maybe it's not going to be too terrible of a loss for them, especially since he has Pulse Bomb at the ready. But there's Attack Visor coming out here from Mangachu. What can he get off it? Doesn't look like too much because the Sound Barrier comes through from Pooks. Should be able to save them, regardless. The fact that Bishu's now out of the mech, this is really good for Renegades.
Now that's going to be Pooks taken out, and a little bit of a trade happening as Zachary getting pretty close to that blade. Going to be denied, though, as he gets taken out. Primo, the last person left alive on the point, and he's going to be eliminated as well. That's going to be the checkpoint. About a minute is the final time. Roughly, I think it's 58 seconds there was the final one. So 2:25 remaining here for this final section of the map here in Gibraltar. And again, I mean, this is... like we've been saying it a couple times here, do or die, man, but this is exactly that.
It really is.
Consolation match. This is for, I mean, money or no money. It's all on the line.
Of course, pride as well. Renegades want to come out with a higher they want to be a third place finisher here and show that they've come a long way since their roster adjustments. Now Zachary unsheaths the blade, has a little protection thanks to the sound barrier coming out. Does get a lot off of it, though. He picks up 2 for himself and shuts down the hopes of Kungara getting this push. But remember, Jesus went over to that Diva. He's out of the mech right now, which is a perfect opportunity for Baby Bay to come up clutch for his team with this Attack Visor if he can find the right spots.
Jesus out of mech right now. Have to see if Baby Bay can find that kill alongside Remix. They do indeed find that opening pick, and look at all the ultimates they have stacked up. Dogman, Baby Bay, both going forward with it. Remix coming through as well. They're going to be finding these kills left and right with that nano boost on the soldier here.
Big plays coming out from Remix as well. I mean, Baby Bay was racking up the kills, but it was Remix who was denying Mangachu, who had the high ground, had the nano visor. He was tossing them about with the Primal Rage there on the Winston, and now they're down the final stretch. 65 seconds to go. One team fight can secure this for Kungara.
So Mangachu not opting for the attack visor when he did get nano boosted there, and eventually just taken out by Remix, and now he's going to go ahead look for some redemption as Remix falls, taking out Jesus, and he's left alone to his own devices. Gets eliminated there by Baby Bay up top.
They are going to try to speed boost as best they can. Self-destruct is out there. It kills Jer, and that's going to be Kungara miraculously finishing out the map with 45 seconds in the time bank here, and that's after that first checkpoint went down as being captained by overtime there. So regardless of a struggle at the beginning of the map, Kungara pulling it in their favor, completing the map, and looking pretty good to be able to come out with the W here.
Now it's going to be up to Renegades. I mean, I feel pretty confident in their ability to get that first point. I feel like they're going to be able to pull that off. Now, I mean, really kind of the question is how are they going to deal with that hangar phase? Are they going to have momentum to just push through and just deny that defense from even kind of stacking up? for Kungara, or, I mean, are they going to have something up their sleeve? Are they going to be able to contest that high ground? What's going to happen? Because, you know, even looking back to Nepal over on Village, they were still kind of having trouble getting Primo up onto that high ground to deal with Baby Bay and Dogman because, you know, as soon as it actually, you know, stacked up, I mean, Baby Bay and Dogman were just sending Primo basically home running with 200 HP by the time he was just up in the air. So really got to be careful of that. Really kind of need to have someone on that Diva to kind of jump with him if that's going to be the case, or, you know, figure something else out that might work, because a lot of teams have been struggling with that hanger phase with Baby Bay and Dogman just landing so much damage onto the Winston that tries to get up and to contest them.
Currently, Mangachu hovering the Hanzo. Zachary has been very dominant with the Zarya throughout today. His Genji clearly on the defense, despite, you know, Kungara completing the map. It was very, very strong. Every time he unsheathed it, he was picking up quite a few kills with that one. So we could very well see that combo of Mangachu and Zachary come back with the Hanzo Diva, or excuse me, Hanzo Zarya. But Mangachu earlier ran the Hanzo without a Zarya, I believe, and Zachary was on that Genji. So this is something we could actually see from these guys come out looking for a few kills with the Scatter Arrow. And yes, Zachary sticking with the Genji.
Well, Mangachu just going for the vision, sticking to that Hanzo as well. So we do see a pretty non-standard composition coming out from Renegades as they're looking for some picks. And again, you do have to wonder how this is going to work out for that second phase of the map, because really it's just going to be down to Primo and Zachary. And again, Baby Bay, Dogman, if he does make that swap in the second phase of the map, if it does line up, is he going to be able to, you know, even get up there and contest that? Obviously, Zachary can help a lot with that, but is it going to be enough?
Bishu again, keeping his ground up top, making sure that there is no way Mangachu can find that high ground and try to look for some backline kills from that vantage point. So Bishu going to continue with that, but even so, they lose too early on there. And part of that was thanks to Mangachu, so they have not found a way thus far to deal with the Hanzo pick. And still, this should be them moving forward, especially with Bishu now out of this fight, Yurix.
The good news for them is that Hanzo is, you know, honestly, kind of inconsistent with the way that it does the damage. I mean, yeah, he was able to find those picks, and it does do a lot in terms of, you know, actually getting the kills. And he is a consistent shooter, but it's not like a soldier pickup where you're just always doing damage. You can find those kills, and if you can remain elusive, you can actually stall this fight out long enough for the rest of your team to get back in there. And that's exactly what we saw. Oh, they do get 0.05 meters, man.
Wow, I saw Dogman coming around the corner there. He puts a sleep dart on Jesus. They don't get the kill. He recalls to safety. But even so, that is risky. Can't have that happening. And thankfully for Kungara, they held on just narrowly.
But now, with it so close, because it's just like out there touching it, problem is
they can't afford to leave.
Yeah, they can't afford to leave at all. They always have to have someone contesting. You can't leave Jesus on there, so now you have to basically kind of let Jer and Primo stick that point as often as possible. They do pull out the Transcendence, and that's going to be the Primal Rage ready to go as well.
Remix gets that nano boost here. He should be able to melt down Primo with that one. Actually, he is going to be getting pretty low here. Pops the Primal Rage to try to hold on as best as they can. 2 minutes off the clock, but the numbers are clearly in favor of the offense right now as Renegades moving forward. But Baby Bay, what can he get done? Pops attack visor, Dragon Strike comes through. Mangachu cleans it up. He finds two, and that will be the first checkpoint secured there for Renegades.
Sherlocky right now. I mean, really looking for that swap. I mean, Dogman already did go over to the Zenyatta, so I'm expecting them to try to get them up into that high ground position. But you need to see, I mean, you really kind of need to see Kungara winning a fight to get them up into that position. They're not going to be able to just get in there when, you know, obviously momentum very much in favor of the attacking side of Renegades. Baby Bay not going to be able to get up there, has a Discord on him. He actually gets eliminated, so they're not going to be able to do that at all. If Zachary gets this Dragon Blade and they're able to win a fight here, they might actually just be able to just run through this hanger phase without having to even worry about that huge issue of Dogman and Baby Bay up on the ship.
Mangachu gonna stick with the Hanzo pick here. Dragon Blade's out though. Zachary trying to pull it through for his team. Sound Barrier from Pooks. They do manage to keep themselves alive, so that was a worthwhile ultimate from Pooks to drop the beat here. But even so, they have not found really a way to deal with Mangachu. And Zachary in particular, his Dragon Blade, despite that last one being a little meh because of the Sound Barrier, they just can't find a way to deal with him here. It's at 3:15 now remains.
Oh man, Baby Bay was on the ship for a second there, was able to put out a lot of damage, and they might actually back them up as Dogman enters the fight again. But Zachary's all over the place trying to put some pressure down onto Dogman, and there's not a lot left here for Kungara at all. But Dogman going to take that 1v1 in isolation, and he actually wins it against Zachary on the Genji.
Still on the forefront of the fight, it was all Renegades. It was a nice pulse bomb to get rid of Primo. Coming out there from Michael, but he was eliminated as is. Sound barrier comes out from Jim. That was not necessary, but thankfully for Kungara, they were able to force that one out now, and still plenty of time to get a regroup before they hit this game.
Mangachu is actually disgusting on this Hanzo. Like, this is disgusting. He's so accurate with it that I mean, really, this is insane. The fact that this is just working at the pace that it's working at. I mean, he just flicked it back actually, and that's going to be pulling out Dogman's Transcendence. Babybay coming through as well. If they can win this fight, they might be able to, you know, hold out in this hangar phase a little bit longer, but Sherlock, he put in a lot of damage into Babybay. He's going to be killed off more than likely, and they might be able to swing this back around, but they're not healthy right now, Storm.
Especially with Jesus being taken down. They're already used to self-destruct, as it looks like Bishu wanted to make sure they got him out the point. Zachary still 75 on his ult. He is the only one on the payload now. He is going to be dropped here, and this is going to allow finally for kind of a breather from Kungara. The last few minutes here since getting into the hangar phase has just been go, go, go from Renegades, and finally we can get a full regroup from Kungara's perspective, lacking in terms of ultimates, but Pooks, oh no, Babybay taken down, and like you said, the high ground is a big threat with Babybay, and now that they eliminated him, looking pretty good to get this next checkpoint.
Really, Renegades has been working this by just keeping the pace of the game at a constant, just keep it going. Go, 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 go. You said it before that that's just been basically like they've had no breather at all. And that's exactly what's kind of worked for them in this hangar phase. The reason why they aren't getting stopped the same way that you would see Kungara doing to any other team. They just are very aggressive. They get up on that high ground, prevent Babybay and Dogman from just getting up there and getting, you know, kind of insulated up there. And that's been helping them a lot. Obviously, they're still getting checked down time and time again, but you know, at the end of the day, they're still getting that main threat of that high ground being eliminated. That's big for them. Just got to make sure that you close out. You got to execute properly after that.
Zachary, though, has a Dragon Blade. That's very worrisome, but Dogman, ready to go with the Transcendence, needs to make sure he can counteract that one and keep his carries alive. Babybay, in particular, was taken out early on in the last fight, so they need to make sure he is supported. They are kind of a little bit of a trio in the back, but there's Zachary finding Pook. Self-destruct is out as well. The Dragon Blade comes through. It's Dogman keeping him alive with the Transcendence. Dragon Strike comes through. Is it enough? No, they hop down to the lower ground still. Pretty even fight, but it looks like Renegades should be able to push forward.
Oh, Babybay almost got pushed off the map. Renegades still with enough space to work with. That's going to be Babybay coming out with the tac visor. Is it going to be enough? He actually has two tanks just right in his face. He's going to get pushed off. 10 seconds remain. I'm not sure if Kungara is going to be able to get back into this one. Dogman sliding over to try to help Babybay. Primo down to about 1 HP.
Ooh.
Remix finds the kill inside of the defense matrix. But look at Zachary go!
But Remix has Primal Rage to try to keep him up. Self-destruct is here for a reset for Bishu, which is big. They take care of business with Mangachu. They've got two people here. Self-destruct is out. Can he get anything? Looking for one. No, Jer able to get to cover here. Doesn't get back as Pooks is going to be taken down here. Babybay a part of the mix again, Garrix, and this is just this is the rest of Kungara knowing that they have the spawn advantage. They might be able to hold on.
Mangachu just isn't in at all. He just threw out the Dragon Strike straight to the payload to see if he can get something going. It got a couple of hits, but that's not going to work.
Oh, that's
as
it!
Overtime ticks down and Kungara wins it.
Wow, Kungara grabbing a close one here on Gibraltar. That's going to be a 2-0 series. They will finish in third place in the Rivalcade Rumble. Renegades grabbing a fourth place finish. As I mentioned earlier, though, after their semifinal defeat to Selfless, you got to be satisfied with where you placed regardless.